I'm here to talk one of the best kept secrets of saving money at Disney. If you're looking to stay deluxe and you don't want to pay deluxe prices, you need to know about David's Vacation Club rentals. All right, let me run it back really quick. If you don't know what David's Vacation Club rentals, but you do know what DVC is, which is Disney Vacation Club, you maybe have heard of David's, but you didn't realize what you were hearing exactly, and you maybe didn't understand what any of that means at face value. David's Vacation Club Rentals advertises that you're going to get up to 60% off traditional deluxe value bookings. And I'm not someone who just takes that at face value. I went through it and I pulled a bunch of examples to give you guys so you know for real that these are actually deals. One thing I really need to point out too is booking DVC means you're going to have a nicer room rather than if you just go onto Disney's website, book the Grand Floridian, you book a standard room, it's still going to be a beautiful resort and it's going to be a nice room. But if you were to book the DVC room at the Grand Floridian, it is nicer. It is either bigger, it will have, depending on the room type you get, it can have an in-unit washer dryer, it can have a soaking tub, it can have a full kitchen. I've seen people online say they have cooked Thanksgiving dinner in a kitchen at a DVC resort. So please keep that in mind, that you are booking a luxury resort, but you're gonna be booking a better room and you're gonna be booking it for less. So let's run it through really quick. I found a booking for May. So at David's, you have two different ways that you can book. You can either go through their confirmed reservations, meaning these are people who are DVC owners and they know that they are not going to be using their points this year, so they list them immediately with David's Vacation Club Rentals. So you can scroll through already confirmed bookings, you can see different resorts, different lengths of stay, all of that, and you can pick from it. So if you are really flexible in what you're doing, you just know you want to go to Disney, you know you want to stay deluxe, and you know you want a deal, this is how you should do it. Or you can put in a request. I'm gonna do a separate video that explains both of those in more detail. Right now, I just really want you to get a feel for the actual deals you can get from David's Vacation Club Rentals. At Wilderness Lodge in the Boulder Ridge Village, you can get a 1-bedroom for $3,300. Here's the exact amount. If you were to book that on Disney's website, again, this is for literally like next weekend, May 16th through the 22nd. If you were to book that directly on Disney's website, that would be a little over $4,000. So that's a low end of the savings, but it's still a savings. It's 19% off. And you're also going to have a nicer room because it is going to have a real kitchenette. It's not going to just have a beverage cooler. That's a big thing for me. A lot of rooms only have beverage coolers. If you book the standard room, they do not have a full kitchen, or they do not have even just like a regular size fridge or a fridge with a freezer. So keep that in mind. And I know people are going to be in the comments being like, oh, I just stay at value, which good for you. Staying at Disney is the best thing that you can do in the world, and do what you want with your money. But I just want to point out that I'm going to make some notes too, that if you were to stay at All Star Music for the same exact week, it is still almost $3,000. Let's get into the busy season. In October, if you were to stay at Disney's Polynesian, you could stay with David's for $4,440. Or it is over $1,000 a night to book. That exact week booking is not available. The week before it's $960. The week after it is $1,099 a night, which means your total would be about over $7,000. And that is a 43% savings. And again, same thing. You are staying in a nicer room if you book with David's because you're booking a DVC room. You are not booking a standard room. And if you were trying to stay a value resort to save money, but you needed that space that you get from a DVC room, so you were booking a suite at one of the value resorts, that same exact week at Art of Animation in the Lion King suite is over $4,600. So staying value does not always save you money if you need the space. So if you are someone who needs space, you might want to actually look into booking these DVC resorts through David's because you will get more room and you won't spend as much. Now, finally, I have one that doesn't need a comparison to a value resort because I truly think that this is like a gem. I can't imagine it's still even available. If you wanted to book a 3-night stay at the Grand Floridian the week of Christmas, meaning you are there on Christmas Day, through David's, it's $2,700. If you book directly on Disney's website, it is over $4,000, which is a saving of 33%. So like I said, the variance of savings really depends. I'm sure I could have easily found the 60% off, but I felt like these three were like perfect examples. One is last minute, one is during Halloween, and one is during Christmas. I will be back to talk more about David's Vacation Club Rentals and like being hosted by them. Please see the view of my room when I stayed at Saratoga Springs. I'm going to talk through how you book a room with David's, whether, you want to do that confirmed listing, or if you want to give them your own dates, give them their own resort, you really want them to help you pick exactly what you want and how all of that works. The only difference that is important to note is the cancellation policy is different at David's than it is at Disney. So Disney, you can kind of cancel up until the day before. That doesn't mean you get all your money back. I'm gonna have a whole booking video about how to like book with David's, and I'll explain more of the cancellation policy there. But think of it as using a credit towards a future vacation in the event you needed to, cancel your reservation, you needed to change anything. And if you have any interest in that Grand Floridian day of Christmas travel, so the travel dates I think were the 24th to the 27th. If you wanted to wake up on the Grand Floridian on Christmas Day, you are not going to find a better deal than that David's Vacation Club Rentals deal. And I would highly recommend hopping on it. Obviously, it's only one room, so whoever gets to it first, good luck. Have the best day in Christmas. I'm extremely jealous of you. But I can't wait to tell you guys more about David's and, everything that you can book with them.